kindly approach the podium, madam.
Let's see. Let's get this at a good distance, height for you, etc., etc.
Oh my God, I feel tall.
Because you are tall.
I could stand to be shorter. Anyway.
Will you kindly tell everyone your name and your topic?
Hi, everybody. My name is Michael Alder June. You can just call me June. And my topic tonight is concrete.
And are you?
No.
Wonderful.
Could I trouble you for a Diet Coke? Could I get a Diet Coke?
Can I get a Diet Coke? Can I get a Diet? Yeah, at the bar.
We can do that?
Like you need
I would love that. I would love that, actually.
I never thought to just do that.
It is a need, actually, yes.
It is neat.
Could I, yeah.
Judges, disregard all of that nonsense.
Should also be noted, we are not sponsored by Diet Coke, Coca-Cola, or any of the Coca-Cola properties. This is a Pepsi house.
Fuck it is.
All right, fight it out later, because for now, Right Club audience, for your first combatant of the evening, are you ready? It is Michael Alder June. Just call her June for concrete in 3, 2, 1, begin.
I'm going to tell you a love story. I met the woman who would become my wife in college. We worked on a play together. Of course, I was in theater. And seeing that I was a musician, she hatched a ploy in which she pretended to want to learn guitar and got me to restring her mom's old classical. It took me an inordinate amount of time to realize she really didn't give a shit about guitar. But I was an idiot 20-year-old kid. She was planting seeds. And then we were inseparable. Through college, we acted in plays together. I spent long hours in the costume shop with her. She and her friends would sometimes cajole me into letting them dress me in gowns and makeup. I met her parents for the first time at breakfast at Denny's. They were funny and charming, and outside afterwards, I told her I loved her for the first time. After 2 years together, she started working on a project for me. She kept it secret, working when I wasn't around or when she was at her parents' house, but she hinted at having something for me. On my birthday, she presented me with a quilt. It was such a precious thing to be gifted something she made herself. A beautiful quilt in reds, whites, blues, with yellow star stitching in the corner of each square. It was meant to reference not America, but the Filipino flag. For such a young couple, we were ridiculously devoted. We were married at 25 in a small ceremony at her grandmother's church. My dad officiated. We moved to Atlanta together, where we each worked for amusement parks, me running sound, her stage managing and making costumes. And then she found a job as an elementary school art teacher. I began a career in public radio. We were the platonic ideal of a liberal gentrifier couple. 5 years in, we had a baby. At 31 weeks, doctors admitted her to the hospital and put her on bed rest because her blood pressure was worryingly high. We stayed together in a tiny beeping room. I would help to carry her IV and stomach monitors with her when she went to the bathroom, and then her liver began to fail in the middle of the night, and she was rushed into an emergency delivery. Panic and tears and doctors and nurses, and as they wheeled her down one corridor and me down another, she squeezed my hand and pulled me close and whispered to me, "I'm going to have the fuck out of this baby." Bawling my eyes out, clutching her hand as surgeons tore her in half to bring this new life into the room, I never felt closer to another person in my life. And then we were 3. We bought a house. We raised a child. We grew in our work, and our foundation never felt stronger. Lives built on concrete, solid and smooth, carrying us on its capable firmament. We were everything that the world tells you to want, and I was miserable for reasons I couldn't understand until I could. In our 20th year, We were lounging in bed on a beautiful spring Sunday, the boy playing in his room down the hall. A seed of an idea had been growing inside of me, and at this point, its roots were pressing against my guts. I turned to my wife and I told her, I intend to go on hormone replacement therapy. I had been playing around with gender, hair, makeup, skirts, they, them pronouns, the tranny starter pack. But I desperately needed the medicine. I was dying. I needed to live. She told me she needed some time with this. Of course, take all of the time that you need. That evening, at dinner, she told me she thought we should get a divorce. New York, nobody knows concrete like y'all. You know its weight and its power poured over the graves of 1 million dead and build a new life atop it, and that will sustain as long as you don't look down. New York, you know, ain't nothing tougher than concrete except, fucking plants. Rigidity defeated by something with the patience it takes to find a single crevice to grow in, one errant weed, and the next thing you know, all your shit's cracked up, roots coming up through the sidewalk. I moved out of the house I shared with my wife and my child, and out on my own to transition on a mattress on the floor of an empty apartment like a fucking werewolf. The seeds, they did their work. My world was now cracked and broken like a weed-strangled parking lot, and I thought my foundation had been so sure. I thought. The crumbling of concrete from under my feet has taught me, let broken things break. 4 years past the devastation, and you see this hot goth bitch in a black dress in front of you talking on a microphone in New York fucking City. I could have been a paunchy middle-aged podcast producer. Apologies to the several middle-aged podcast producers here. Hey, estradiol, just planting seeds. But I would not be here if I had not realized that building anew sometimes requires destruction of the old. Wrecking balls know this. And every T-girl on Z-Way's internet knows it too. Standing in this rubble, I have never been happier. I told you that this was a love story. I told you the most precious gifts we make ourselves. Thank you.
I just want to note that Breakfast at Denny's is my Truman Capote fanfic account that I sometimes post under. It's like trailer trash romance, but with wit.